Hey, you watched a 30-second TikTok and suddenly your whole life made sense. But now you're spiraling because you think you have ADHD, avoidant attachment with just a little bit of narcissism on a Wednesday. Like, I get it. I get it. Let's talk about it. Raw conversations, real feelings, and no copay. This is Am I the Patient? Okay. Hey, y'all, and welcome back to Am I the Patient? I'm your host, Miss J. I'm a therapist, and I am someone who has definitely been emotionally diagnosed by a TikTok before. I also am the patient more oftentimes than not, but you know what? That's why we're here. Let's talk about it. But today we're talking about the beautiful, chaotic world of mental health TikTok. Oh my gosh, I'm sure you've came across some videos or some TikToks or some clips or some type of mental health related something on your For You page. So, if you have, I know you took the time to ask yourself, is this all self-diagnosis empowering us, or are we just over pathologizing, oh my gosh, being human? So actually it might just be both. So let's be honest, TikTok has become a therapist, a group chat, and a journal all in one. People can turn that little button on, or slide over to that live, and they can make TikTok their diary, their journal, send it in the group chat, and even become your therapist. So the beautiful thing about TikTok is it has made therapy language accessible. It's destigmatized trauma, attachment styles, nervous systems. You've heard of inner child work, neurodivergence, what else? Narcissism, bipolar, borderline personality disorder. So it has definitely made therapy language more seen. But in that, there's thousands of mental health sound bites a day, without context, more times than not. Without the nuance, and sometimes just without credentials. There's just these random people talking about mental health and what they think sounds good. So when you have that, suddenly your ex is a narcissist, your mom was emotionally unavailable, or is, if she's still emotionally unavailable. And then you got complex PTSD, high functioning anxiety, and then maybe a little bit of autism, just from a 60-second slideshow with the fancy lo-fi music in the background. Like, some of it is true and some of it can be true, obviously. But you have to ask, is this insight or is that projection? So let's give credit where credit's due. Mental health TikTok has done literally some amazing things. It normalizes talking about emotions. It destigmatizes mental health diagnoses like stuff around depression, borderline, bipolar. One of the things that I always notice is that when people are like, oh my gosh, this person is like two-faced, or I can't, oh, man, I've heard this probably most of my life, honestly, before I got into the mental health field. Like, this person, they do this one day and then the next day they do another. They're so bipolar. And that's not what bipolar is. So, that's where the credit, for TikTok goes. Like I said earlier, it makes therapy language more accessible. So people are learning the correct use of bipolar, what the symptoms are for borderline personality disorder, what gaslighting is and what it isn't. And it also empowers people to get help. Sometimes you don't know you need help. And so having someone, I guess, in a TikTok or in a 60-second clip, or someone who has a similar situation or a similar story or similar symptoms as you, can help bring light to like, oh my gosh, you know what? Actually, maybe I do need some help, or maybe I do need to go somewhere and talk to someone, or whatever that may look like, or whatever that may be. So kind of validates, your experience of what you're going through. So I've had so many clients be like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I didn't know what it was, what I was going through until I saw it online or until I saw it on TikTok. And then they bring me, there's two things in particular I remember where a client brought them to me and I was like, I've never heard that. I will have to look that up. And the first one was limerence. And actually, it's been a while since I saw her, and it's been a while since I've looked it up, so I don't even remember what it meant. And the other one was, oh my gosh, it was something around Black psychology or the Black, like, psychology experience or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. I was just like, never heard of that. Let me look it up. And actually, now that I think about it, I never looked that up. And I thought that was a pretty cool term. I can't even remember what it is that the client told me it was exactly, but it's okay. But so anyway, that's the beauty of the TikTok. But where there is beauty, there is the ugly. There's the downside. There's the harm. So in keeping in mind with seeing these types of things on TikTok, you have to know that not every trauma, is a trauma disorder. Not every toxic relationship was narcissistic abuse. I've had a lot of the uptick in clientele coming and saying, oh my gosh, my ex was a narcissist. Oh my gosh, my baby daddy was a narcissist. Oh my gosh, my boyfriend's a narcissist. Oh my gosh, my mom's a narcissist. The many times I've heard that, it's just like, oh my gosh, that is wild. So not every toxic relationship was narcissistic abuse. Not every person who was awful to you was a narcissist. Not every brain fog is ADHD. So when we use the clinical language without clinical understanding, that's where we blur the lines between traits and disorders. We lose the nuance that diagnoses really acquire. And we start seeing everything through like a pathologized lens. I don't know why I put that word in my notes when I know I can't pronounce it, but it's okay. So think of it like WebMD for your feelings. You come in for some emotional awareness and then you convince yourself, you know what, now I need a DSM and a weighted blanket for all my emotions, for everything that I'm feeling. I need it. And so when we do that, that's when we stop healing, because labeling isn't the same as doing the work. And that's why you go to therapy and you don't turn to TikTok, because just because you label something, then it becomes, now what? Now what? What do I do with that? And so when you're in therapy, that's where the work can happen. You can have that place, that safe place to do that hard work. What comes after, which I love. So, of course, this is the Am I the Patient podcast, so I have to talk about Am I the Patient, obviously. I thought about this and I was like, am I the patient? And I could safely say that I'm not. And the only reason why I'm not is because I'm in the therapist fields. So I, for the most part, know what to look for. But I will tell you, I am a sucker. I don't know why these videos find me, but they do. Those stupid... And yes, I'm calling them stupid. The stupid videos where they're like, 7 signs that he's falling in love with you. Like, let me be Delulu. Okay. Like I told you guys, I was starting a new relationship and, so it always feels good to like get some kind of weird validation from the internet and be like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is happening. Or, there is these 5 telltale signs that he likes you. And I promise you, those videos will come across or it's not even the ones where it's just words on the screen. It's also like the men, because those are the ones that pop up on my For You page. It's the men like, ladies, if he do these 4 things, you have swept him off his feet, type thing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm a sucker for those videos. So I catch myself watching those videos and I'm like, okay, let me feed my little Delulu right now. Let me be a little Delulu. And then I have to think to myself, I'm like, okay, come on now. It's just such broad information. It's so general. It's no way that this is going to apply to every single relationship and to every single man that, you come across. So I'm a sucker for those videos. It's crazy. Okay, so how do you know when it's time to take a step back from TikTok or social media in general? So there's a couple of things that I'm going to mention that kind of signals like, hey, I need to take a step back. For one, you're using it as a substitute for therapy. If you're like, therapy's too expensive, I just want to use this. And now, as a little small sidebar, I've heard people using ChatGPT as a therapist. And as another sidebar, I don't know. Do we need to talk about AI? Because hold on now. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I use a lot of AI / ChatGPT to help me create this podcast. I'm being 100% honest and vulnerable in that regard. But I also saw a video of a man who's marrying his AI partner, like, while he was with his girlfriend or something. It was bizarre when I heard it, but that was a small sidebar. But I mean, if y'all want me to get into it, we can get into it. But back to the other sidebar. Yeah, so not just social media, but also AI. So you're using it as a substitute for therapy. And you're like, oh my gosh, therapy is too expensive. It's just not, optimal right now. And then you're resulting in using these TikToks. And you're like, I need something. Let me go on TikTok real quick. Or let me go on social media. That's one sign. Another sign is using it to diagnose. You're using diagnosis to justify poor behavior. So you're like, well, TikTok told me I have ADHD. So that's why I procrastinate, and that's why I'm not going to do my work. That was the example I could think of at the moment. But, you're using it to justify poor behavior. Unacceptable. You're the patient. You're getting overwhelmed by labels instead of working toward healing. So you're just like, oh my gosh, I need to find something. I don't know what this is. I need to know what it is. I need to know You're the patient. Stop. And you feel seen but not supported. So the whole, being labeled and like, yeah, that is me. I have that. That's what I have. But then it's like, now what? I don't feel supported. I'm just lost in this vast, I guess, one of my favorite shows, this vast black mirror, just this black screen staring back at me. And it's like, well, okay, now what? So if any of those fit, you want to go ahead and put that shoe on and just tell yourself, I'm the patient. So it's okay to resonate. It's okay to be curious. But don't just stop at the content. Go deeper. So whether that's with therapy, researching, journaling, or just taking a break, slow it down. You don't need a label to deserve help, and you don't need a diagnosis to start healing. I especially love that last part. I'm going to repeat it. You don't need a diagnosis to start healing. I've had people come into therapy for a multitude of reasons, all different types of on the spectrum. And I mean spectrum of like, you know what, I'm just really stressed right now. I'm having a hard time juggling this responsibility and this responsibility, to the other end of the spectrum, like, oh my gosh, I need to heal from this assault that happened to me, 10 years ago. To something in the middle of just like, you know what, I'm depressed and I just want to not feel depressed all the time, So you don't need a diagnosis to start healing. You can just come in and name it and just be like, this is what I'm going through. Another reason why I love therapy. Sorry, I'm a therapist, I'm biased. But anyway, you can just come in and just start naming it. And I find when I'm sitting across from someone and you can just see and feel the lightness of like getting whatever they're going through out in the open. And they just feel 110 times better. Whether it's like, oh, my best friend, I don't know, I just lost my best friend, or my person just broke up with me, or I just lost my mom, or, I failed a class at school. Whatever it may be, whether it's big or small, or in your opinion, big or small, whatever, you just see like the lightness and you could feel it. And they can feel it. So, yeah, you don't need a diagnosis to start healing. So, just use TikTok therapy responsibly. 3 ways you can do that is just ask, does this add clarity or confusion? So, if you're looking at something, just ask yourself, like, hey, did this make sense for me? Or did this just make me want to go spiral? Or keep researching? Or am I confused even more? Or like, yeah. Ask yourself that. Look for licensed creators and educators, and not just ones with the ring lights and the vibes. I am shouting out a couple of, I guess, mental health. One's a therapist himself, and then one is I don't know, it's just a cute, well, I'll explain it when I get there, but anyway. So ask yourself, does it add clarity or confusion? Look for licensed creators or educators, and then use content as a starting point and not as a conclusion. So you want to use it as a jumping off point of being like, okay, so we can use this as a label, or this is helping me understand the language around what I might be going through. Use it as a jumping off point, not as the end all be all. So the first person I want to shout out, his name is Therapy Jeff, and I picked these two pages of TikTok just because they're the ones that I personally follow on my personal account. And I was like, you know what? I'll just share a couple. His name is Therapy Jeff. I'm also going to link it in the description of these episodes. At least I know on YouTube. I don't know where else, if I can even do that on Spotify, but we'll see. Or wherever else this podcast goes. But I digress. His name is Therapy Jeff. I love him. He has like 2 million followers on TikTok, but I love his videos. He is a licensed therapist, but his videos are really great, and he is a licensed creator. So, and then my second one is Lenny, and I don't know why. I love Lenny so much that I literally bought the book. I forgot the name of the book. I think it's Me, Lenny. I think that's the name of the book. But he's just a little blob, and he's just these little nuggets of like clips on TikTok to just like get you through your day. I'm going to insert one right now. Here you go.
Hi. The world makes it so easy to compare your journey and then feel bad about the path you're on. I fall into that trap all the time. But I'm trying something different, something crazy. Radical love and acceptance for the way my life is unfolding. I think there's something so powerful in saying, I've been through some shit. My journey is ups and downs and highs and lows and pretties and uglies. And you know what? I love it. I love my journey. Everything that I've lived through, everything that I have been through, I love it. Because it is a proof that I am resilient, that I am strong, and that I can get through anything. Your journey isn't your burden to carry. It is your badge of honor. Wear it with pride, baby! I know you've been through so much, and I love you, and I see you, and I am so proud of you. Bye!
Okay, you see, it's so cute. And I'm recording this. I just put a pause in. I don't know which clip I uploaded, so I can't respond to it. But it's just really adorable. I have the book. I like it because it works in a lot of positive affirmations and a lot of positivity. Because sometimes we can be down on ourselves and we forget who we are, that we are that person. So sorry. Sometimes we forget that, and so I like that. I don't know, it's just super super cute. So those are the two that I'm shouting out. But just be mindful of what you consume and what you label yourself as. So it can be a little bit of helpful and it can be a little bit of harmful, a little bit of both. But yeah. But anyway, that's all we have for this week. If this episode made you feel seen or dragged on, just please go ahead and leave a review, or just share it with someone who you know is a chronic TikTok diagnoser. Just let them know, like, hey, come on, we got to get it together. And if you have a TikTok diagnosis story of your own, please, you can email me, or you can, I have a Google form. It is up and running. Like I said, always go to my Linktree. My Linktree is up. It has the Google form, and it doesn't have my email up there yet. I don't even know if I can add it. I'm going to see. But definitely follow the Linktree. Is linktr.ee/amithepatientpod. And that's linktr.ee/IamThePatientPod, and it has the link to the Google form that you can submit for videos and whatnot, to be featured on the podcast, I should say. And then my email as well is amithepatientpod@gmail.com. That's amithepatientpod@gmail.com. Now, the email is confidential. It is also going to be used as a safe space. So I just want you to know that I will be reading whatever comes through, and there will be no judgment. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. It's monitored, but it's also unmonitored. So just keep that in mind when you are sharing. So, yeah. And also, if you're in crisis, please, and if you need help, please reach out to the Suicide and Lifeline crisis hotline. It is 988. You can text or call if you live in the U.S., because you are not alone. Okay. And just a disclaimer. This is all for entertainment purposes only. This is not a therapy session, even though I am a licensed therapist. You have to get your own therapist. But yes, but stay tuned. Next week, we're going to talk about probably is going to be my favorite episode, and it might be a little longer, or it even might be a two-parter. I haven't started writing it yet, but we'll see. But the topic is the hood don't do therapy, but why? So I'm so excited. We're going to talk about cultural stigma, survival mode, and why a lot of us Black and brown people weren't raised to trust the mental health care system. So yeah, so y'all get ready for that one. I swear it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited for it. So y'all stay tuned. Everything will be linked in the descriptions everywhere. So if you need anything, please let me know. Email me. Yeah. And again, I am Miss J, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.